Hi folks, it's Mr. Roy again. I hope that things are going well for you. I want to give you now a tour of our online learning environment that we're primarily going to be using for this course going forward, at least for the foreseeable future. So you're going to need to first get to the Lakehead Public Schools eLearning Ontario site, and I posted the link for that on Edsby to make it easy to get to. I know many of you have had this for other courses that you've taken, so hopefully this is a familiar environment for you, but if not, I'm here to help. Okay, first thing you want to do is we're going to go find our course. So we're looking for MCF3M, Functions and Applications. That's us. So that's the one we're going to click on, and this is what you should be finding here. I'm just going to make it look like I'm a student so that you can see that it's going to look exactly like this for you. So this is what you're going to see when you get to the page. First, we've got a welcome message, which you're going to read and kind of go through. Make sure to drink that in. There's also the course textbook there at the bottom if you want to access it if you don't have the physical version at home with you. The next big thing you're going to want to need to do is go into content. So the content section is going to be where you're accessing pretty much everything for this course. Our very first thing we've got is our textbook. So again, that's our digital version of our textbook if you don't have the physical one at home. And then you'll see that Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are accessible. We've already covered Chapter 5 for our course. That was trigonometry. So you're not going to encounter that in this setting. Our goal for most weeks is going to be to get through 3 modules. But this week, because we're just kind of starting things up and chipping along, I'm just going to have you do the finishing touches on Chapter 1 and do the first module in Chapter 2. That's kind of what's where you're going to try to get to. If you want to work ahead, that's totally fine, but in order to work ahead, you need to complete things to unlock the next phase, but it's totally fine if you want to do that. Let's first take a look at Chapter 1. This is stuff we've already done in class. So we've got lessons for all this Chapter 1 stuff right here. For example, let's look at Section 1.1. We did this a little while ago in class. So we've got some support videos that what you want to do is watch those support videos and check them out. There's also going to be a PDF document, and what that's going to be is usually some further information or stuff out of the textbook. So you can either just read this in your textbook itself, or if you've got the physical one at home, or you can check through this. So let's go back to 1.1. We've also got our practice quiz. So this is just to practice and refresh your information and see where you're at and make sure you're up to snuff. So let's go to our practice quiz for Chapter 1. We're going to say when we're ready, we'll start the quiz. Again, this will get marked, but it's not counting for marks. It's just for practice. And I'm just going to start clicking some answers. So we're talking domain and range stuff. I'm just kind of picking things at random here. There's usually 4 answers per, so chances are I'll probably get a 25% on this. Through we go. Okay, I got kicked out of my quiz there, but it actually resumed it right where I was. So that's a nice thing. You can just click resume quiz and everything will still be there. So I'm going to go 10 out of 10 questions answered. I'm going to submit my quiz and see how I did. You're about to submit your quiz? Yes, please. Let's submit it. So I'm going to have, in some cases, it's going to tell me whether I got my answers correct or not. If I was wrong and I need a little bit of feedback, there may be a little feedback to help me know what I did wrong. So I can take these practice quizzes as often as I like. Some different questions may show up each time, but it'll be about the same base content. Now for Chapter 1, we're just reviewing stuff because we did all of this in class. When you're ready and feeling prepared, you can go and do your Chapter 1 test, which is right here. Now, some of you have already written the Chapter 1 test the Friday before the March break. Some people wrote that. The marks are up on Edsby if you already wrote that. And so have a look at them. If you already wrote it and you would like to redo this, you can do it, and I will take the higher of the 2 marks. If you weren't there on that Friday before March break and haven't written the Chapter 1 test, you have to do this one. And that's going to be how I'm going to be assessing your understanding of all the stuff we did leading up to March break. Once that's done, you're going to be ready for Chapter 2. And now completing stuff in Chapter 2 will start unlocking the further content as you go. So we'll see in Chapter 2, we've got section 2.1, it's working with quadratic expressions, and we've got a video. Next, we've also got a document from your textbook. Your textbook tends to be really good. It's actually one of the textbooks where you can sit and read it and follow and understand what's going on fairly well. So I really recommend doing that reading part as an essential part of this course. Once you're ready, you can do the practice quiz, just like the one we saw. If I get 70% on the practice quiz, it's going to unlock the next part, which is the quiz for this section, and that's the one that counts for marks. And it's going to look very similar to the practice quiz in terms of the content covered. Once I complete that, I'm ready to, it's going to unlock the next section, and I'm ready to move on to the next section. For this week, my expectation is that you're going to, provided computer access is working and all those things are okay, my expectation is that you're going to try and get through your Chapter 1 test, and that you'll also complete the quiz for section 2.1, our first section here. So we'll complete the Chapter 1 test, the quiz for section 2.1. If at that point you're feeling comfortable with this stuff and you want to keep moving on, you're welcome to do that and continue, and stuff will continue to unlock as you go. But my expectation, again, as I said, for week 1 is Chapter 1 test, the quiz for section 2.1. If you're having any trouble with this stuff, you can message me on Edsby. That's the easiest way. I'll be checking that daily. And also our twice weekly sessions on Microsoft Teams that we'll be getting used to, where you can come and ask me any particular questions that you've got, and I can answer them live for you in video form. Okay, that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.